All right, everyone. Recording 2. Let's see how the day works out. Today is the 14th, and what I wanted to share you guys today is this. So I'm going to kind of open this up. Right now, if you're asking, what pens am I using? I showed you guys I'm using the Micron, but I have this little pouch, right? And I have kind of the markers I'm looking at using. Some grays up here, warm grays, cool grays. Kind of like you would say beige and a bright orange color, yellow here. And then down here I have my chart packs, which I get kind of the neutral tones, some of the reds over here, neutrals here, and of course the cool colors on this area. Now these can vary, these can change. I don't know if these are the exact ones I'm always going to use, but these are the ones I've been using for the last, I would say, 6 months right now. And the white gel pen if I ever want to use it. And of course I have microns all the way from the 0.25, 0.2 to all the way 0.3 and 0.4, and even the thicker tips over here in this area. But let's say, what do we start today with? What do we start today with? Yesterday, kind of did this drawing. You guys saw the evolution of how this kind of worked out. Again, this is drawing not through seeing. I'm not kind of showing you a picture and we're drawing. This is kind of drawing through thinking, through ideation. Maybe that's the title we'll call this, drawing through ideation. Meaning, what are we thinking about in this case? What are we trying to get to? What message are we trying to talk with our environment we're creating, whether it be an exterior or interior? So let's think about something today. I don't know. I think maybe I should open this to have like a podcast or live sessions where you guys tell me something and what I should do, and then I'll just start drawing it. That would be pretty cool. Okay, so let's say, I heard somebody talking about how, you got to make sure that the environment, that we have an environment that provides relaxation. And that's a general term, relaxation. What does that actually mean? So we can do a lot of research on what that means for many people, but I'm going to just use it as a general overview to create some quick ideations in my mind. They can lead to potential ideas with not being so strict in terms of it has to be this, or this. And that's what I want. This is what the sketching for ideation is. It's let your mind explore the opportunities in your own creative mind, what you see happening. So let's talk about that word, relaxation. And if I were to tell you the diagram, what that word means to you, that's a whole different story, right? And I'm going to start with the old one right now, in terms of what is an environment for that. Now, I already can tell, do I want an environment that's rectilinear? Do I want tall ceilings, low ceilings? How would I want the space to feel? And how would I want people to interact with that environment? So right now, I'm going to be very literal. Relaxation. I'm going to go to sleep. But am I going to draw a bedroom? No. We want to be creative. So, not that I'm the most creative person, but I would say that let's just start with, like I always do, a point. Let's art our scale figure. Let's add somebody right here. Right? Let's put somebody more up front over here, a little larger. Right? And then somebody over here. Okay, give me a second here. Let me pause this for a second. All right, so it's continuing here. Okay, just people in general. So I'm going to go over this, and I don't know why. Don't ask me why. Right now, let me just do this line right here. So I'm going to try to find a way that you can focus on the drawing versus my hand always being in the way and then focusing on that. I saw that in that previous video. I'm learning this process. So let's see. Let me do that there. Okay. Let's have some fun here now. All right, let's just go like this. And you're like, what am I doing? Oh, I don't know yet what I'm doing. I have it in my mind. Okay, so I can tell you what I saw in my mind as I'm drawing this. I saw this apparatus, like a structure right here that I'm drawing, right? That has thickness. Right? And this element, it's gonna have legs on this side, is going to basically hang something we all love to do. Hang a hammock. That's what it's doing. And it has another leg over here on this side. So that's what I'm drawing. In this one, I'm drawing this hammock. And that's what these lines are all about here. These are the structure of the hammock. So let me get my, so this right here, that element I just drew, that's the where we chill. That's where we just sit down and relax on this hammock and just chill and relax. And now, is this outside? Is this inside? All right, so let's I'm thinking this should be an environment that is has out, even let's say even if it is indoors, it has outdoor features. All right, so I'm just gonna draw this here real quick so I can see that back wall. Usually I have a back wall somewhere, but I didn't want to make it so little right now. So this is relaxing environment, but I don't want to be private. I don't want it to be completely open to everybody. So I'm going to create this sort of partition wall right here. Right? That partition wall is there to kind of divide, people from that space. That looks like a reflection actually. And we'll leave it like that. And then on this back side over here, let me see like just vegetation, like these beautiful little shrubs happening, which can be biophilic elements for the interior. Right? And so you see them all around here. So they're not just let me move my hand. So they're not just trees, right? There's more like shrubs that we see and we can enjoy. And there's also a wall right here that I'll show, that wall right there. And I'm going to make this go higher, and then as a space, you would say. And let's talk about this being an inside space, sorry, but these huge clear story windows up here. You see that? And then these are all kind of shrubs on the wall here. Somebody can walk over here on this side. Right, that's me. I can walk there. I can get on that hammock. Let me do a thicker one here. Right. That would be kind of what you see right there. And the clear straight windows, I'm going to give them some believability there in terms of thickness. Right, so these are the windows right there. And you can get a lot more detailed if you need to with this. But okay, so that's kind of environment to help relax, maybe enjoy your. That's one area, but that's kind of like, okay, that's just a hammock. Okay, that's pretty cool. But this wall that I just created here, I don't want this wall just to be like this. Let's say this wall provides. We'll start it right here. Provides kind of like this comfortable, ample seating area that you can just kind of sit here and lounge. Let me give this wall some texture here. All right, maybe this is tufted right there. You can sit on this area right here as well. Somebody can sit there, relax, and unwind. That's the base of it right there. Right, that goes into that part of it. And then on this side here, let me come over here. Let me just draw this line here, this line here. Again, I'm making a 1 point in this one. Do I want more hammocks? Do I want those instead of swings, those seating pod swings. Right, so what do we have? A bunch of those here. Let me put them over here. Let me see. I want to put somebody right here so I know how tall people are going to be. Okay, somebody there. So you know what I mean? Those pods, those those chairs that you can swing on, and they'll be all along this line, right here. Right. So first I'm going to draw is let me draw them first. So it'll be this big. I want to make them nice and a nice scale for you guys to see. Yeah, I'll do it like this. That's kind of the vanishing point here. That's how tall I am. Right there. So yeah, you can fit through there. Perfect. They almost like drops. And there's one back over here too. And if they follow a horizon line, this will be this tall, this tall, this tall, this tall. Sorry, the vanishing point. This will be really tall, these cables right here. Right there. But those are these pods. So let me kind of define this one more because it's on the foreground. And I'll let you see this one from like the way we open it up. Right, that's the area right here. And that's the seating area in here. And there'll be, let's say this is made out of fabric on the inside, on the outside, and you begin to see it there. There we go. Right, so this is kind of the seat area. You see that? This is just like the connection there. All right. So we have that same idea for every one of them. For this one as well over here. So I'll do this. I'll make it look very similar. All right. So it's like following that. That's kind of where the seat is. And we kind of, these are the lines for the fabric. Right there. And then we have another one here. And we'll be seeing less and less and less of the details as we go along here. But we should have the general idea that it's the same thing. Right? The same type of pod right here and right here. That people can go in, sneak in, and just relax and enjoy that environment. I don't like this area anymore. I think that should just be a water fountain. Right now I just decided that's going to be kind of a water feature where the water's going to come down here and just drip down, and you'll hear the nice sounds of water, maybe like a nice mist coming through. I'll do it that way. Okay, perfect. And then this, of course, is going to be held by something. So it can be held by a ceiling element. It could be held by a truss. Let me make this back wall. That's the line. So this wall will be like right here. Oops, sorry. Right there. Let's say that's the back wall. And so this is going to be held up. Now I'm going to kind of make this like it has chains or rope. Like this is kind of a rope. And again, this is drawing through idea. I'm drawing as I'm talking to you. I have no idea what was going to happen today. I still don't know if I'm loving this. But all I know is that it's something that I'm creating and talking to you about it. And that's kind of the idea of what I want you guys to understand. Now, let me just make a couple of key points here. This is going to have a structure. So I'm still debating. Should it be a ceiling holding it up? Should it be like a big column and it's hanging through there? Or a big element? And I mean, we could do that. But let's just do it. Let's just do it like it's a ceiling element. Like it's hitting here. And then we're going to follow the vanishing point. And, that's going to be where we hit here and here and here and here. And that's it. And so let's talk about this height's going to be, let's say, I'm going to make it say that's the back wall. Right here. And I'm going to go up right here. I'm just gonna do it like that. That's the element. And so just to make this a little more easier for us to understand, that's kind of the top of the ceiling. I'm gonna actually develop this. Yeah, I like that idea. Where I'll do this. And see that line is going to the vanishing point right there. And I'll show that thickness of that, let's say soffit right there. That's holding that together. Okay. I think I need a thicker number 1. So you guys can see that edge right there. You see, and that's holding that up, and now we see that space. Now I will say, you know, people can walk around, and we have this beautiful vegetation over here on this side, right? And let's pop this out a little bit more here. So what's on this wall over here? And you know, can it be views to the outside? I would say definitely views to the outside would be great. So let's make this proportionate. Let's break this up between each of these pods. Right, let's say between that, I'm gonna make a line right here. Between these, I'm gonna make a line right here, a line right here, and then maybe, you know, connect it. Okay, there, perfect. And I'm gonna kind of give this a little thickness. You can't see these over here, but and then that would be kind of like the thickness of the window, you would say. Outside, a big window, right? Big windows, and I'm gonna kind of make this a little taller here, right there. Let's say those can be windows to the outside, or it can be, one can be a window, one can be a wood panel, right, with nature, and so you can decide what you would want to see. And now we're looking at the outside, and we'll see something. Like let's say this is outside, and let's say on the outside there's like even on the outside there's like a walkway here, and this walkway has these I'm just gonna make these planters, and then each of these planters has, you know, what you're seeing outside, some really nice trees. I have to find the name of these trees. I like them, you know, you see them a lot in gardens in Europe. But these, you know, nice, you know, you see outside, maybe there's somebody out there. That's a horizon line right there. Okay, there's somebody out here, outside. People out here enjoying, you know, they can see into it. So you see all these elements, right? And when you put some color onto this, you begin to understand that's outside, that's inside. But let's say on this side, you know, you see more of like trees and vegetation. That's what you see over here. You'll see some of that through the window, right? That's what you would see. That's all, just an impression of that. And now we have this environment that we talked about, relaxing. You sit here, you chill, you can sleep. Maybe there's some, I'm actually gonna add like an element here, like blackout shades. Let's say at different heights they have blackout shades. So if you want to, you know, adjust the light, you could do that. So that's what these are right here. And there we have kind of this drawing developed. Now this is inside. So I'm gonna say that this has a ceiling here, right here. Right, there's a back wall right here. Okay, let me pause for a second. All right, so we're doing that roof area right here. You know, just to make sure we can see what that looks like. Sorry, the ceiling. I said roof, ceiling area. And I'm gonna make it rather simple. You know, I'm gonna kind of, that roof is covering everything else here. I mean, the ceiling, we have that element. No, let's make it exciting. Let's actually connect a couple of components here. Let's say that's one area of a roof. See, yeah, the ceiling, sorry. This is another area. And this one right here, Yeah, I'm gonna play with this one here. I'm gonna cut this one up a little bit. Like when this, you know, above the other. And then so I'm gonna make this one right here have like wood planks. That's what I'm looking at is the ceiling. Okay, and this one's gonna just be, you know, just drywall with the little recessed can lights around here, right? And this one's gonna be these kind of like square luminaires there, and then we'll keep it that way. Yeah, that's fine. I'll put some pin lights in between there to create mood. And the overall back wall here, right? Overall back wall, just for interest, right? I want to see that there's like a it's like doors, like here, like glass doors. You can't see, and then up here, I'm gonna make the sticker here. You have more windows, like clear story windows on that back area. So that's it. We kind of have the space. It's basically, you know, quickly drawn, done. Look at my signature on it. Where did I put the signature on it yesterday? On the right, so I'll do the same thing. And what did I say today was? The 15th, right? I have such a bad memory. No, the 14th. So, space for relaxation. A space for relaxation. Maybe, maybe not. Now, do we want to render it? Do we want to see some color on it? Do we want to keep it just as a line drawing? Well, this is, again, it took me 20 minutes to do this as we talked, and I had a couple of pauses today. But again, it's about thinking through ideation. So I'm going to put not that much color on this one, but I do want to kind of start with the windows specifically. Yeah. And I'm just going to kind of looking outside, you know, what we see there, looking out here, what we see here. You know, so I'm going, remember I said I put these blackout shades, that's what those are here, so, you know, and the idea is for you all to be comfortable, to use your techniques, right? This is all windows up here too, and here, and here, and here, and here, and these are looking outside, here too, so we get an idea of what the space feels like in general. And I'm going to say this space is, yesterday we did this school, the place for learning, and we had these colors. This one I'm going to keep a lot more subdued. Meaning, it's going to be color, but it's going to be, let's say we keep most of it just, like, we probably don't want to do white everywhere. Right, but I'm going to say that, you know, these areas here, they have some color, of course, they have some color here, and here. And remember, nothing's ever white. Nothing's ever just pure white. But there is, you know, I'm going to just go quick with this. There we go. Well, this is picking up that pen there. And I'm just picking up the color where the shadows would be. I think it looks more intense in my drawing. Now, what do we do? That's what I need to get. I need to get a good brown, because I don't have kind of brown. But we can't just do no color. We have to add some. I mean, I'm gonna say this wall has this right here. You know, these pods definitely have some tonality to them. Of course, this will be very similar. Let's say this is wood. Right, all these elements here. There's a big hammock. Like 12 people. Yes, you're right. I said 12 people. Why not? right? And so it'll have more contrast of color, of course. Meaning, you know, this will get darker on the side here, a lot darker on the inside, right, of all these, and around the edges, the wood. And again, I'm just trying to kind of create contrast here. You got to see this, and we're enjoying this moment right here, right? Well, at least I am. I enjoy all these moments. And let's get a little more intense with the shadow here, and here too. We got to get more intense with the shadow inside. Ooh, nice. Go in there, just chill, just relax. I'm putting that here on the edges to pop things out a little more. All right, everyone. Making sense here so far? What we're trying to get to? No, we can even get... Oh, we can make this even darker. And of course, come on. We gotta add some color. Now we're talking, and I'm just gonna say this. That'll be nice right there to have that there. I'm gonna put some dots here. You'll see the method to my madness, because this is all vegetation here. And I want, you know, people to feel like there's a nice balance of color happening. So I'm just putting dots here. Outside is mostly green. We know that. Okay, I'm gonna try to test this out. Excuse me. All right. This isn't part of it. All right, so let's. What's the floor? You know. Let's make. Yeah, let's make it like this color here. I'm just trying to create kind of like, this is the overall color potentially, right? It's gonna get darker in some areas, but just create a little idea of what this color is. Now, I want to do this. Yeah, let's do it this way. I like to always do that line. Somehow it creates a stylistic view for me when I do these. And I'm just going to put these here so you guys can see the shadows underneath these areas here. Shadows here, right? And hopefully you get the idea what I'm trying to get to. That's kind of the floor. How we're looking at it. Now let's start with that vegetation. Again, I'm just using spring green, but let's make this one a lot brighter. I have this it's a little brighter green to put around here. And again, I'm gonna just use a stippling technique throughout here in this area here, and we're gonna do some of that over here too. All right, some stippling on these areas back, because you see these trees back here as well. There's not, you know, you see some of that. I'm making the whole hammock that color. Now I'm going with the spring green. It's a little bit darker. Actually, it's the same tonality. Oh, my hand's probably getting... This is the grass, the green grass. That'll be darker. And I'm going to kind of make this one darker over here. And this is where I can put some shadows now with grays to pop things out. General ideas here, right, is to make sure we know where we're creating depth, where there's like a shadow right in that wall. And the line drawing helps here. Like if you do watercolor, it helps just when you have the line drawing, but I'm just trying to create this idea there. Sometimes when they look too random, I mean too together. Okay, so what I would need here is that I really would want to get darker in some of these areas here. Trust me, it does help here, like here. To create that variation over the shadow within the greens. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm trying to create that. So we're creating that environment, that feel of our, let me move it up a little bit. There we go, the feel of the space, of the environment. It really helps create kind of like the illusion of what that space would feel like. Now, if you see on the floor, when I started doing it at the beginning, it might have felt like, you know, a little out of control, but it's just to get the idea of this is kind of like concrete, and we could refine it. But I'm gonna do very similar with the ceiling. I mean, I want it to be color up, you know, all around here, because it will be. Oh, that area, I want to keep that same color. This area I said that was like wood. I'm gonna see how that area is wood. It's gonna get a little darker in some of the areas. There we go. That helps out. Really cool, right? Really cool. Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. Now I said this had water on it. This has a little bit of water on it. Right here is water coming down into a water element right there. This is just gonna help kind of pop out the edges of the glass, you know, out there. All right. And there we have our space, a space for relaxation. Hope you enjoyed today's drawing. I can go refine this a lot more with pens if I want to, but again, this is ideation. I come across, assess this, do I like it, do I not like it? You know, what can I do? Refine it and I'll draw it again. I'll do a more in-depth analysis. I'll use my research to help connect dots. Right? And this is something you can now talk about in terms of your progress and what you're trying to develop for your project and for your vision, right? At the end of the day, this is your vision you're trying to get across for everybody else. Now, you probably can't see this. I have kind of this, the gel pen. If I wanted to kind of create some highlights in some areas, you can always use this gel pen to pop it out. But things are not dark enough right now for this to have that. So I don't really need to use it. I'm just using it on the floor just to, let's say if these were tiles, you can create kind of this feel. Just in a quick sketch. Again, a quick sketch. I don't know if you can see it, but I created it. Yeah, you see some of it here. All right, I hope you enjoyed round 2 of this.